Hey now, welcome to Lone Star Mini Restoration. I am going to show you my ideas on my mini toolbox project. About 2.5 years ago, I had a friend visit from the UK, Mr. Pete Raymond, and together we cut off the front end of my current restoration. Now, I cut it off in one piece, the wings and the front panel still attached to one another. I knew I wanted to do something with it. I didn't know what. I've seen people make sofas, I've seen people make barbecues, and so those were at the forefront of my thought. I was like, okay, I want to salvage this or repurpose it for something, maybe just wall art. What I've decided to do is I am going to repurpose the front end of my Mini that's all rusted and holes and cracks, but I'm going to make a mini toolbox that's specifically going to be used for when I'm working on the Mini and all the tools that are related that I think I'm going to need. So, without any further ado, let me show you what I've got going. The idea is that when this is complete, I will have a complete front end of a Mini that looks like a beautiful Mini. It's just going to be the front end, but it's going to be a toolbox, a roll-around toolbox. I'm going to put 10-inch wheels on it that will actually roll. I will also have 2 casters in the front that will help me turn it. But let me show you what I've done so far. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. So here's the view from the back end. And what you can't see is you can't see the inside of the wings and the front panel or the bonnet that I recently sandblasted. I blasted them all down to bare metal so that I have a good welding surface. Because then what I did was I ran a 1-inch square tubing from A panel to A panel. And then under the cabinetry here, I've also got some other 1-inch square beams running in the forward-aft direction. That gave me a nice level foundation. So then I put my first piece of plywood, my foundation, and then I started building my cabinetry on top of that. And I'll show you what that's going to do here in a minute. But I am going to build, the only thing I had all the wood. All this wood is leftover scrap wood from other projects. Of course, I've had the shell that was off my Mini. And I had the slides that I'll show you here in a minute, the drawer slides, I had those. So far, I've not bought anything with the exception of the 1-inch pipe that's going to run underneath that's going to act as my axle, because the wheels that I put on this, I'm going to put 10-inch wheels, they will be actual rotating wheels. So the pipe that I bought, I think was like $21, or was it that much? I don't remember. So anyhow, that's kind of my expense so far. Let me go to the front end and show you. All right, so back to the front end. One of the ideas was I was going to take speakers and put in the round lights on both sides, left and right, for a nice stereo system. But then I decided, no, I want this to be cute. I want it to be a classic Mini. So I'm going to put lights back in and indicator lights, and they're all going to work. They're all going to work like they're normal. If by the switch, I'm going to have a remote control that I can turn them on and off. So that'll work as normal. I may even put the indicators on the wings out here, the little square indicators out there. But let me show you the functionality of what I have so far. Okay, so what I've done with the grill, I've cut it in half to make 2 drawers out of it. As you can see, the top drawer is a little bit shallower, but when it comes out, it's going to have, basically a layout of all my tools, shadow boxing of all my tools. It has I put in nice soft close hinges. As you saw, basically that grabs the drawer and it pulls it in nice and softly. So then the bottom drawer does the same thing. So this drawer is a little bit deeper for the larger tools. And it does the same thing. Now I've got a lot of sawdust got in the bearings, so it's not working as properly. It'll still pull it in like that, but it's not as clean as the top drawer right now. But I'll clean all that out. Now, all the detail, I haven't gotten there, all the wood in there that you can see, that's all gonna be painted black. I may put Lone Star Mini in there. I don't know, but most likely it's gonna be black. I made one mistake so far, and that was I started building the shelf without consideration to the bumper. With the bumper in place, the bottom drawer would not open, it wouldn't clear. But as you can see now, it's clearing well enough. What I've done is I have taken a nice dead stop hammer and I've kind of tapped the flange that the bumper mounts to. I tapped it downward. So now the bumper is a little bit lower, but I think that was a good resolution. So now I'll bring the camera in closer to show you a little bit more of what I have in mind. All right, so that's the drawer storage. The bonnet is also, you're going to lift up the bonnet. It's going to be on gas springs so that it holds it up. And I'll have additional storage. There will be a shelf in there over those drawers for actually larger items. There'll be potentially, right now I'm looking at a deep pocket here on this side, and then I'm looking at a deep pocket there, and then in the very back I'm also looking at another deep pocket. Basically, I'll have, along the flat shelf that's in there, I'll have these lift up doors with just a pull tab where you can lift it up to put books or anything deep, something deep in there. And again, lights, I'll have it on a real axle. I'll close out the whole back end with nice sheet metal. And right now I have decided the color of this is going to be Speedwell blue. I'll put, badges on the grill, AA badges or whatever. So in the end, that's going to be dedicated strictly to mini tools. All the tools that I use, now some of them aren't mini specifics, ratchets, sockets, stuff like that. But I will have as much as I can, including Haynes manual. I'm going to have a box of gloves. I've got a whole list of things that's going to go in here. I'm going to have to organize it just right. Right now, my number one fear is thinking I have all the tools that I will need, and then as I get along and learn, it's like, oh, I need this tool. Now I didn't organize for it, but that's okay. But that's my plan. That's my project that I have going on right now. The number one thing that I'm getting out of this is it's given me experience for welding on my Mini. I've not touched my Mini since, if you followed my channel at all, I've not touched my Mini for a while. And the main reason is I have this frickin' learning curve fear of putting a welder to that thing. Because it's a project and it's not my finished Mini, this has given me wonderful practice. So yes, already I have been welding on Mini panels, and so I'm developing a little bit of comfort with it. So that's fabulous for me. So that's my project. A mini toolbox that's going to roll around. It's going to have power, USB, cup holder. It's going to have everything by the time I'm done with it. So stay tuned. I'm not going to show, video for video and actual doing the work. I'll show just progress from here and there if you want to stay tuned to see the end result. I have not seen one of these before, so hopefully it'll be a little bit different out there for anybody that has the abilities and want to be a little creative. Maybe somebody else can pick up the idea and make it even better than I've done. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in. All right, bye just now.